Now we get underway with our second. Oh, we've had a spin, and that's the 245. Ruben Verheyen that's lost the back end whilst trying to warm up the wet weather tyres and manages to get pointing in the right direction and onto the black stuff. But here is your starting grid for Junior Rotax Heat 2, and it's A versus B. Max Cuthbert and Casper Schurmans will be on the front row. Joining them on row 2 will be Archie Clark and Bolowet. Thomas Ingram Hill and Tino Sidler complete the top 6 ahead of Archie Buttle and Luca Brima. Noah Janssen and Kenzo Craigie complete the top 10 with Boris Maximov and the USA's Charlie Smith completing row 6. Ruben Verheyen and Olivier Jonkers round out what is an all-Belgian row 7. Sebastian Koch and Max Sadursky. Row 8, August Reber, Matej Radenkovic, Zain El Homosani, Naim Bretag and Krit Knorren complete the 21 strong grid. So the drivers will now have to make their way around this 1.38 kilometer circuit on their official formation lap. So now it's time for the two teammates from JJ Racing on the front row to control the rolling start. So this is going to be very, very crucial for these drivers as we're going to head into the tram lines once again for 7 minutes plus an additional lap. So now they go into the tram lines, revs rise, full start has been called for the first time. Race director not happy with that one, and to be honest with you, not really at all surprised, to be truthful. So we're going to have to go around for a second time of asking and find out if we will have a clean start on this particular occasion. If we do have a second full start, there will be a red flag called. As they're around halfway around the circuit at this particular moment in time. So it will be a case of finding out who will join Armand Hamilton as a race winner in the heat phase for Junior Rotax here at Marienborg at Karting d'Espagne. So here we go. We're going to try and get this second junior Rotax heat underway. Revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? This time it's a good start as Max Cuthbert leads the field, but Casper Schauman's very, very wide and all four wheels off of the grass. He's like a lawnmower is the 240 from the Netherlands. But Max Cuthbert had the presence of mind to try and keep it pinned to the inside. But there is Archie Clark, and he's trying to get through. He's squeezed Max Cuthbert. And up the inside, is that Kenzo Craigie? Yes, that is. Boloet to the outside. Two wheels off of the tarmac by the 244 as they head into the 90-degree left-hander on the infield part of the circuit. Oh, there's karts around. There's karts off the circuit. And there's Kenzo Craigie. He's around. Max Cuthbert, I think, might have been involved in that as well. Yes, he was. And there's another one of the Argenti Motorsport karts I've just seen going through into shot. Oh, my goodness me. That just goes to show how quickly the weather conditions can just spice up anything. And these karts, they were clean when they went out onto the circuit. They are very, very much the case not. Noah Janssen sideways. There's the back end kicked out to the right-hand side on the rear axle. And you can just see that the drivers are, even though the fact that the rain is now held off, the big question is who can master these wet weather conditions. At the moment, it's Archie Clark. Thomas Ingram Hill now up into second as there's another one of the KR Sport karts. That was Archie Buttle sideways into the opening corner. And we have got a yellow, I believe, going into turn number one. Drivers, as I said, are using unconventional racing lines because you need to find where the grip is. You are learning as you go along. There is the 222 of Max Sidursky. Now a junior these days. But Archie Clark has really scarpered away into the distance. And that is why there's so much happening, and you can just see again going, you know, the back straightaway just really causing problems, especially if you're trying to turn in and you're hard on the brakes and the cart will understeer. You know, it's very, very minimal what are on these karts, and that just goes to show you've got to have a real presence of mind. As Noah Janssen sends it up the inside, that was on the 245 of Ruben Verheyen, who had the spin on the sighting lap, let alone getting towards the start. So positions are changing hand over fist. In the meantime, Boloet is chasing down Thomas Ingram Hill, the back end on the 227, nearly drifting out to the left-hand side as he came into the approach into turn number one, but managed to keep a hold of it. And now Louette looking for the move. Is there room? No, there isn't. Again, you can just see that through the way that it's now Boloet up the inside on Thomas Ingram Hill. And now Thomas Ingram Hill has a little bit of a touch with the left rear on the bumper of Boloet, now up into the 90 left. Ingram Hill gets back through for second position. Behind them, we've got Charlie Smith, who's ahead of Tino Sidler from Switzerland. That rounds out the top five. Max Sidursky has dropped all the way down to 10th position. Luca Brima looks to be out of the race. And again, this curb hopping is just a way in which the drivers will use that to their advantage. If they're all four wheels outside of the track limits, then there's an automatic slam dunk penalty coming their way. But Archie Clark has romped away into the distance. Boloet in second, 2.6 seconds behind. Thomas Ingram Hill, Charlie Smith, Tino Sidler, Crick Norton, Casper Schauman's has now made his way up to a recovery drive up to 7th, having just got past Mateo Radenkovic. Olivier Yonkers and Max Sidursky complete the top 10. Fastest lap of the race, Casper Schauman's 1 minute 14.470. There is an evolution on the circuit, so not so much rooster tails. There is a dry line coming through this S-bend chicane at the midpoint of the circuit. So 2 minutes and 34 seconds still to go, plus an additional lap. It's anyone's guess on what could transpire. I mean, we had an absolutely chaotic first couple of laps, as that is the 210 Tino Sidler, and he has got the 236 right behind him. That is Charlie Smith from the USA. They're being followed by Crick Norton, who's made his way through on pure pace to be effectively in 6th position at the moment, as our leaders will cross the line very shortly with 2 minutes to go. Clark's still leading. Has Bolowet got the gap down? Yes, he has. Just over 2 seconds. Ingram Hill is about 1.1 seconds behind, followed by Tino Sidler. Charlie Smith in 5th. Krit Knorren in 6th. Kasper Schulman 7th. Radenkovic Swiderski now swaps places with Yonkers. So there was a little bit of a side-by-side moment there coming through the S-bend. So there were 2 side-by-side. One definitely had the run on the other. As now we have Krit Knorren battling away with Charlie Smith. There's Kasper Schulmans. He's like a rat up a drain pipe is the 240 from JJ Racing. So 50 seconds still to go, plus an additional lap. Leaders yet to cross the line to start what could be more than likely the penultimate lap, which Archie Clark just obliges with. Bolowet has taken another 3 and a bit tenths of a second as Schulmans looks up the inside, gets through on Krit Knorren through turn 1. There's a little touch between the pair. But there was more than enough room for Kasper Schulmans to get through. It was just the fact that Krit Knorren might have just, I'm not too sure if he might have just slightly misjudged that gap, but these things do happen, you know. And now Charlie Smith has got Kasper Schulmans to his inside, and the 240 gets through, and all that momentum that Schulmans took into the corner literally just dropped away. And Charlie Smith was quickly through, but Schulmans is back at him again. Nose to tail between the American and the Dutchman. So timer has expired. After this, 1 more lap to go. Archie Clark's lead after 5 laps was 1.7 seconds. You can see the amount of wheel work Charlie Smith is having to do at the moment just to correct the kart. You know, you put the power down, it's going to step out to the back, to the left on the back axle of the kart. As now our leader, Archie Clark from KR Sport, crosses the line to go into the final lap of the race. Louette has got that gap down again. If he had another couple of minutes in hand, I'm sure that Bolowet would be challenging Archie Clark for the race lead. Thomas Ingram Hill has kept it very, very nice and steady in 3rd position. He's 2.3 seconds up the road by the driver now in 4th place. That's Kasper Schulmans. Charlie Smith from the USA in 5th. As it is getting a bit close for comfort between Smith, Knorren and Sidler. Knorren through. Charlie Smith keeps it. He was high, wide and handsome. I think he channeled his inner Ken Block right there. He's trying to go toe-to-toe with Krit Knorren going through into the turn 5, 90-degree left-hander. But it is going to be 2 different winners in 2 different races, because Archie Clark, he got in front of everybody else and he hasn't really looked back. The 239 from KR Sports. And into the final right-hander goes the youngster, turns it in, uses the wider line. Less standing water on the inside of the exit of that right-hander, through the chicane, and it's going to be a win for KR Sports. Archie Clark Bolowet from Belgium takes 2nd, 1.2 seconds adrift. Thomas Ingram Hill in 3rd. Kasper Schulmans, after that drama in the early stages when he went grass mowing off of turn number 1, he takes P4. Krit Knorren 5th ahead of Charlie Smith. Tino Sidler. Kenzo Craigie recovers after his incident with Max Cuthbert at turn 5 to take 8th ahead of Matej Radenkovic, Sebastian Koch, Olivier Jonkers, Max Cuthbert, Archie Buttle, Boaz Maximov, Noah Janssen, Max Swiderski, August Reber, Ruben Verheyen, Zainel Homosani and Naim Bretag rounding out the 20 that all finished every single lap of this race. Luca Brima, I think, didn't take the start.